I want to talk about the illegal aliens that are in the trucking industry and why it's absolutely necessary to get them out of it. First of all, this whole problem was brought on by the O'Biden. We can call it O'Biden, or we can call it O'Bad mess, Obama, Biden, Clinton cartels, crime families. Okay, they brought all these people in here. Michelle Bachmann, back in, I think it was 2012, was wondering why all these Muslims were coming into her state, Somalis. And she started doing some investigation, found out it was all being done by Hillary Clinton's State Department through Huma Abedin, her sidekick. And so when she went to complain to the State Department, basically Hillary said, there's really nothing you got to say about this. They were being brought in in the nighttime and placed all around the city, Minneapolis and other areas. And Michelle Bachmann was a state representative, I believe, at that time. And in any case, they told her, just be quiet, you got nothing to say about it. So Michelle Bachmann and 4 other Republicans, including, I believe, Louis Gohmert, and there were a total of 4 others besides Michelle, sent a letter to the State Department, and they were pretty much slammed by the rhinos and the Democrats. As far as Tom McCain, who actually ran with her for the presidential ticket, he actually put her down and pretty much slammed her. But he was a traitor himself. If you look up what he did in Vietnam and how he gave the Viet Cong a lot more than what they asked for when he got his plane shot down. He was the only one that was not tortured over at the Hanoi Hilton. And he gave not only recorded film about, yeah, we're not supposed to be over here, but he gave the Viet Cong all the call signs of the fighter jets, so that after that point, many, many more fighter jets were shot down. Yeah, that scumbag. Also, Boehner, he was House Speaker, I think, at the time. He also slammed Bachmann. But see, this shows these are the good old boy clubs. You know, rhinos, Republican in name only. So these people created this problem. They got to be taken out of our government, actually taken down. Keith Ellison was also involved, and Michelle Bachmann spoke about him. Of course, he was the first Muslim attorney general voted in. I think a lot more like voter fraud. You got all those Somalis over there voting, and Ilhag Omar over there. They all need to go. I'm all for that. And so you've got the big problem in Minnesota and so many other places. So I'm going to touch on some other things. These illegals that are in the trucks, especially the ones that cannot read or speak or write English, especially reading. They're going down the highway, they cannot read the signs. You'll see that have caused terrible accidents, killing innocent people. The idiot, and there's more than one of these idiots making a U-turn on the highway, people crashing right into them and dying. These idiots driving over, antique wooden bridges. Like, don't you see the freaking signs? Guys going underneath overpasses like 10 feet for a 13.6 trailer. It says it with big flashing lights right in front of it, and these idiots go right under the freaking overpass. Some of them just running like crazy and smashing into people without stopping. The guy that ran down the mountain, I feel bad for the guy because he obviously was really hurt by what happened out in California. Ran into all those stopped cars, had 2 different opportunities to run off on a a truck runaway ramp, but didn't know about how to do it, I guess. So you've got these guys that are dangerous. Not only that, you've got criminal elements in the trucking industry, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to touch on another thing. There's guys I know, like I do, I pull oversized loads too, and there have been numerous stories from guys I know, I haven't personally seen it, where they're in the scale house, DOT is checking their permits, they wave in another truck, turbine heads come in, no English, you know, whatever nationality they are. You got permits? No. They let them go. The guy goes, why'd you let them go? We're told to let them go. Who told them to let them go? All the way up at the top. That's who. They protect them. Because their main reason for bringing them in, number one, is to use the voter fraud. They're voting, that's their voting base. Number two, they are brought in here by those that want to accomplish the global agenda of destroying America so they can get their one world government. America and Israel over there are in the way of the globalist government. And that's talking about the United Nations, which is the trafficking arm in the world. They are disgusting. They commit genocide themselves. Look into it. Go on Rumble, search it. Then we got the law enforcement telling them to go. Don't worry about it. Why have they not been pulling out these people that can't speak English? Because they're told let them go. Well, not now anymore. Thank God for Trump. All right, here's another issue. A trucker I know in Ohio knows a lady that works for a travel plaza. I won't name the name, but she works for the billing department. And she said this is a couple of years ago, she told him there's all these new immigrant trucking companies started up. And there's one big umbrella corporation over them. And they bill this particular travel plaza. And I'm sure if it's done here, it's done at other ones. They bill them $1.60 a gallon for their fuel. And guess who's kicking in the rest? Our government. Up until Trump. I'm sure they better have stopped it, but I think they probably have. And so you've got Americans like us, citizen truckers. I've been doing it since '79. Got out of the Navy in '78. I got a veteran-owned business. Do I get any benefits for that? No, nothing. These illegals, they're getting half of their fuel, more than half of their fuel paid. And I'll guarantee you they were funded by the illegal government that we had previously, that regime. They were funded to buy their equipment. A lot of guys I was talking to were saying, man, how are these guys buying brand new equipment? I'll tell you how. Uncle Sam, Uncle Communist Sam. That's one thing. Then you've got the fact that if they're getting half of their fuel paid, I'll guarantee they're not paying any taxes. They didn't grow up here. They don't have a social security number. And you look at the sweet deal that the Indians had for many years. I think they still have it. You know, that's how they ended up in all the motel business. They had a sweet deal from, I don't know who, I didn't look into this yet, but I know this is many years ago. They were allowed to have tax-free 7 years, set them up in the motel business. So they got 7 years tax-free. After 7 years, they turn it over to another relative, 7 more years tax-free. It just keeps going down the line. And now I'm going to get into another portion. I met a trucker from one of these countries that I'm going to name, and he told me of some very dastardly deeds that these guys are doing to their own countrymen, besides there being human trafficking issues where they bring in these guys, put them in a truck, give them a license with an address that they never see as their home. They live in the truck. They don't go home. If they ever go anywhere, they go to a room where there's like 4 or 5 or 6 other guys that stay at this place. Okay, they don't have a house. It's all illegal human trafficking. They work for peanuts. They can't speak the language. That's got to stop. And this guy told me about how he was buying a truck and trailer through one of these guys that was his own countryman. One of these trucking companies. 2 months from paying it off, he's asked, hey, there's this guy that broke down. Can you go pick up his truck and trailer? And he agrees to go. Gets a ride down there, takes the other truck back. When he comes back to the yard, his truck and trailer are gone. They said, oh, we don't know what happened to it. What do you mean you don't know what happened to it? It's in your yard. And he found out there were at least 20 other guys working for that trucking company that they did the same thing too. He said they got no heart. They're ruthless. They do it to their own countrymen. And this guy had big connections from the country he was with. He told me that I can name easily 500 literal war criminals that came over here from Eastern Europe and these Balkan countries. They went to Germany first, ripped people off blind over there, came over here. And he said these people, I can name them. He said he's tried contacting law enforcement, the FBI. Nobody wanted to talk to him. He's got names. He's got addresses. He got phone numbers. He can give them all these illegal, crummy, criminal elements that are in the trucking and freight brokerage business, screwing and scamming people left and right, actually stealing trucks and trailers and screwing guys in the industry. As a trucker myself, I have to be very careful about who I haul for as far as brokers go, because there's a lot of them that are scam artists. It's similar also, I'm also a broker, so I got to watch out who I give loads to. And there are criminal elements in the trucking industry, and not all of them are foreigners. There are some Americans, but a lot less, but still scumbag jackasses that you'd like to just take and jack up against the wall. So you've also got these guys that need to be taken down. And matter of fact, he also told me about this one, I'm going to say it, Landstar agent that has an 8-story building overseas that's filled with all these guys that work for that particular Landstar agent. Now, I can tell you, talking to different Landstar agents on the phone, some of them are really as crooked as can be from some of these countries. So these countries are Russia, Ukraine, Bosnia, Croatia, Belgium, there's Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, India. I'm telling you, they're over in these countries. The phone system sounds like they're local here. I have actually talked to some that I found out were actually not in this country. And you can actually hear some of them in the freight brokerage industry that, man, they're probably sitting out there in their shorts and flip-flops on the street. You can hear all the beep, 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 you know, people running around. I don't know if it's Philippines, India. No, it's India or Pakistan, because that's the accent. So we got to get rid of these people, and they are shafting us. This illegal regime that we had previous to Trump has been shafting us left and right. Obama, Biden, and these crime families, including the Bushes, by the way. Bushes are no friends of America, I can tell you that. The last good president really was Reagan. He still made some mistakes. But we've got to get these guys out of this business. And if there's anybody that can give me the name of that big umbrella corporation that bills this particular travel plaza $1.60 a gallon for the fuel, I'd really like that. Also, if you have any comments, I'd like to hear those comments. questions. I'm going to be doing more videos as I get more information. And we got to take back America. It's a battle. Just because Trump got in, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. I'm sharing my views. Trump got in by God's grace, and it blew up the whole cabal, the whole operation of screwing America and giving us the digital currency to control everything we do, the central bank digital currency, CBDC. I've got something in my throat, but he can't do it on his own. We got to work our side of it too. And a big part of that is going to be prayer and intercessory prayer, and I'm going to do a video on that, probably at least more than one, because it's a spiritual battle. And what's behind all these criminal elements and the Muslim Brotherhood, see, they want to establish a caliphate here. They're not going to assimilate. When they say death to America and Israel, they mean it. And we can't put up with that. This is our country. Get the hell out of here. That's what I got to say. We're going to have to take our country back and get involved as much as we can. These people that say, I don't want to get involved in politics, forget about it. Don't call it politics. Call it life. Because when the deep state operatives that are in our government, including many communists, globalists, and Muslims that want to ruin this country, they want to take your property. They want to screw your little kids. They want to rape your wives and kids. Oh, shoot, I'll probably get stashed for that one. But anyway, this is what we're fighting, and we got to take our country back. Trump is not going to do it on his own. We definitely got to be praying for him and all the people that work in the administration, that the moles get kicked out, uncovered, discovered. So let me know your thoughts and questions. Put them in the comments if they're available. And if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll be doing more.